When you're just getting started running a business, adding additional upsell services can be the secret ingredient to adding more cash flow into that business, and that's what we're talking about in today's video. We're covering how I added pressure washing as well as other additional services as an upsell, which let me almost double my average ticket price when selling to customers. I'm also talking about how you're going to be able to do this as well. Be sure to get out the notepad, take some notes, that way you can learn from what is taught in this video. That way you can go out and implement the same. But before we get into that, if you're interested in parking lot striping and want to start a business that's highly profitable, we've got an 8-hour training course that covers striping, how to get customers, marketing material, and much, much more. Link will be in the comment section and the description of this video. Subscribe, hit the notification bell icon, like the video. Let's get to it.
Chris, I do want to talk a little bit about how you added pressure washing into your parking lot striping business, because I know it could be a bit daunting for guys who have never offered a service like that before to start offering it. So can you talk us through a little bit of, maybe the equipment that you got, the learning curve, things of that nature whenever you first got started with that?
Yeah, it was essentially whenever I first got started, people were asking me about offering pressure washing. Well, I didn't really know how to do it. And so essentially, it was funny whenever we connected, because you had sent me how to wash, and that's one of the resources that I used whenever I immediately got started. And what was happening is people were asking me to perform this service, and I really didn't have a lot of experience. So I didn't know how to subcontract, and then subcontract becomes this big headache where you're trying to call this guy, you're wasting his time. If you don't get it, you call, then he gives you a price, and then you try to mark it up, and, you're facilitating, all of this extra stuff for a job that you might not get for a small pressure washing job. And ultimately what you're doing is just wasting somebody else's time. That kind of stuff drives me nuts whenever someone wastes my time. And so since I don't like that, I wouldn't want to do that to anybody else. So then what I did was I thought, well, I'm not doing a lot of soft washing. It's just kind of basic surface cleaning on these little property. I mean, just little jobs, not huge. I just went and got a little 4-gallon a minute at Home Depot with a surface cleaner. I think it cost us right around $2,000. And then, we've made it back because we ran it until it broke. You know what I mean? So it wasn't like it was too complicated, and I made my money back really, really fast. But it's ultimately just stepping out of your comfort zone and then being willing to offer a service that you might not be comfortable with, because if not, you're going to miss out on extra money. That's one of the reasons why seal coating, for example, there's a lot of people who are in the line striping industry or whatever, and they create content, and one of their key pieces of information is how you shouldn't add a service if you're not hitting a target revenue for a particular service. So for example, don't add seal coating unless you're doing $150,000 in striping or whatever. Get that one thing done and then add other things. Well, want to get more customers, improve your conversion rates, and get access to the information I teach my coaching clients every month that helps them make thousands of dollars each month? Send me a text message letting me know that you're interested in joining the private coaching program. You can be like Brandon, that got a $3,700 job from the information that he learned in the program. He said landed a $3,700 wash restripe combo. Or you can be like Jamie, that got a $7,000 job. He said, just want to let you know I just landed a $7,000 apartment complex job. Or Andrew with a $12K job. I'm waiting for a call from the owner to sort out the deal and sign the contract for $12K. Text me to get to the group, make more money. Let's get back to the video. When you're competing against 30 people, that kind of sounds cool whenever there's maybe a handful of people. When you got 30 people in the city that you're competing against, adding whatever services you can to fulfill the job and the job description, ultimately to me makes more sense. And by adding these little services, what it does is it just helps you stack up wins. And now I don't have to subcontract somebody for pressure washing unless it's a soft wash job or a really big job that, I don't want to take the time to do. I get a seal coating job. I don't have to subcontract it. Now we can do it. Or crack filling, sign installation, whatever the case may be. I don't see the need to subcontract it whenever I could just self-perform it and then make more money myself.
I completely agree, Chris, with, that school of thought. I mean, some guys will say, yeah, focus on your main thing and get it to 150K. Well, it's like, we're servicing customers who have other needs outside of, what we're doing. The hardest piece about this whole thing is acquiring customers. So what do we want to do? We want to maximize with the customers we currently have. So if we can do that, we can offer them more services. I just want to make sure that we covered kind of how you're adding in pressure washing, Chris, because I think it's really important, right? Like you said, guys are hesitant. They don't know everything about it. But what you did was you educated yourself first and foremost, and then you just kind of went feet first into the fire, because at the end of the day, if we're able to add, $4,000 worth of value, extra value to each customer, it only takes a few customers to really raise up our money by the end of the year. So anything else you want to add with regards to adding on these extra services?